Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And today, we are going to check out two general manager candidates, Ed Dodds and Louis Riddick. Before that, we're going to get to your comments, and then we're going to have a great dessert from Curt today. You'll want to stay to the end to check that out. Also, our question of the day. But first, before we get into all that, let me bring in my partner in crime, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
Hey, what up, dude? Welcome to the program, people. We appreciate you checking out our content. You know what we need you to do. We need you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that before. Like the video, ring that notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, and share it with your friends. You know, it helps us. All those things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. Man, let's go ahead and get this thing started right now. Welcome back to the show, people. You know what we got to do. We got to get at these comment cards. Jim, you up first.
I am up first. Sports Agent Fletcher. Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn are not prepared or experienced enough to hold those positions. Yes, both were a part of the Patriots' success in New England, but neither made any decisions during their time there. This is precisely why Patricia Quinn copied every single thing New England did. Shaking my head. Indirectly turning Detroit into the junior varsity Patriot situation. Moving forward, the team is better off with Bevel as head coach. Experienced and defensive coordinator Corey Unlin now has to step up and prove he can be a defensive play caller in this league. I've been in the NFL business for 20 plus years, and I deeply appreciate this post. Thank you, Steele and Bordeaux, from Fletcher. Thank you very much for that comment, sir.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, hey. He's totally right, though. I mean, these guys, these clowns. I mean, people.
Yeah, those guys, they were not prepared. They because you have to look at the way that the Patriots run their organization. Everything runs through Belichick.
Yep.
So,
and that's the guy that wasn't here. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, Tristan Williams says, I am really excited that Patricia and Quinn are both gone. Well, you know what? So are we. We're pretty excited here too. I mean,
I'm on this thing. I like this comment, and one reason is because of the Quinn thing. That was reported that Patricia was going to be fired and Quinn is going to stay, and that would have bothered me. I'll tell you the truth, because then we would have probably got another expatriate guy and continue the Patriot way, and it ain't working here. Let's start over.
That would have been that same old Lions type of deal where they fired one and kept the other, and that wouldn't have been right.
Shoal 734 says, yet another Lions rebuild. Sigh. Yeah, I can get with you on that. But the thing is, if we were going to continue in this and just keep giving them time and keep giving them time and keep giving them time, it'd be a century before we ever did anything. And we probably would have a destroyed team still.
Yeah,
we need to move on. We need the rebuild, and let's hope we can get this in the right direction.
I mean, they stripped this thing down to the studs and brought in the guys that they wanted, and it just wasn't working. Sheila Ford Hampton said it perfectly in the press conference. It was just not working. All right, last but not least, we have Shad 216 JF. That's an interesting name. If you think what Patricia said to the players were bad, then you haven't been around the Lions social media. You know what? I'm an avid I get you, Chad. I get you, because Lions fans can be brutal, and sometimes they can tear a player up and run a player out in social media. So I get what you're saying.
Eric Ebron was one that came to mind right away when they were talking about that.
But I don't think it compared. Seeing something on social media and hearing something to your face is two totally different things that have totally different impacts.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. We're going to get into the main course right now, no delays, and we're going to talk about Louis Riddick, and Curt is going to take that over.
Hey, Louis Riddick currently is an ESPN analyst. He works on Monday Night Football, and he does all the major shows over there: NFL Monday Countdown, NFL Live. Was on. He's always on Sports Center, Get Up, and all those shows, analyzing players for the network. He's 51 years old. He went to college at the University of Pittsburgh. Here's an interesting fact: he has a Bachelor's of Arts in Economics. That's pretty decent. Yeah. He's from Quakertown, Pennsylvania. He played safety in college and in the NFL. He was an All-American, academic All-American as a senior at Pittsburgh. So he's a pretty smart guy. Drafted in the 9th round to the San Francisco 49ers in the 91 draft. He played 7 years in the league, San Francisco, Atlanta, Cleveland, Oakland. He wasn't a great safety. 172 tackles, 2 sacks over 7 seasons. He has some NFL experience. Now, his days in Washington did never have a lot of, winning records or anything like that, but he was a pro scout from 01 to 04, 05 to 07. He was a director of player personnel. Now, his successful days were in Philadelphia, where he started out at 08, went back down to a pro scout. 2009, he was an assistant director of player personnel. And 2010 to 2013, he was the director of player personnel. And during those times, the actual Eagles, the last year there, they actually won the division in the NFC East, had a couple of second place finishes and a few playoff appearances during his stint in the personnel department for the Eagles. So he brought a lot of personnel in to help facilitate those winning seasons there in Philly. Now, looking at his other professional career, he joined in ESPN as an NFL draft analyst back in 14 and 15 for ESPN Radio. Got moved up to the telecast portion in 2016. He's worked on various shows. You've seen him, like I said, Monday Night Football Countdown, Sunday NFL Countdown. His probably most extensive appearances in the last couple of seasons has been on NFL Live, where he's worked with that crew over there. This season, he joined Monday Night Football over there with Brian Greasy and Steve Levy. His personal life, which comes into effect because, they have a family, you want to see sometimes those how individuals, can dedicate their lives to the job. But him being an analyst and doing all those games, he's liable to move around. Got married in 2013. He has 2 children, a son and a daughter. I think one of the really perks for me personally, he knows personnel. And one of the things that I was surprised with, and I think that will help him in the long run, is his degree in economics. That's a plus as well. He can, get down there, help with the cap analyst. Now, that's one player that's one person on the Alliance I like. That's one guy I want to keep around. Their cap specialist is pretty good.
Yeah.
But looking at him overall, I think the downside to Riddick, so most people are saying, is that you got another TV guy trying to bring another TV guy in, but he's not your average TV guy. He worked in football. He's not a Matt Millen type person where he's actually worked in the league. The downside is that he hasn't been in an organization since 2013.
Yeah, that's the bad part for me.
But he does analyze player talent for ESPN. So that's one thing he does do. I mean, he's worked on the draft for the last 6 draft. He has analyzed players for ESPN. So it's not like he got rid of that side of him. He actually helps him do his job better, being a pro scout and a director of player personnel.
Now, on these overviews that we're going to give you, we're not really going to give us our take as, is he going to be the greatest guy for us or whatever. We're going to give you the information and let you decide. And I'm going to talk about Ed Dodds. And Ed Dodds is 40 years old. He has a bachelor's of business administration from Texas A&M Kingsburg. He's currently the assistant GM in Indianapolis, but I think he's better known for his time with the Seattle Seahawks. So overall, he spent 16 years as an NFL scout, and 10 of those years was with Seattle. He was holding a position of senior executive or senior personnel executive, but that was only for 1 year. He was a scout for most of his time there. He was part of 6 winning seasons with the Seahawks, 5 NFC West titles, 10 playoff wins, in addition to 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 win. During his time in Seattle, he was instrumental in being credited with drafting Russell Wilson and also putting together the Legion of Boom, which is huge. He was also a part of the regime that preceded Pete Carroll over there, so he has had a lot of experience in the NFL ranks as a pro scout, and he's generally considered the best pro scout in all the NFL, which says a lot. He's had 18 years of experience. So now we move on to the Indianapolis Colts. He's the current assistant general manager, and he is widely respected. Okay, so in 2020, Dodds assisted with the signing of free agents such as Phillip Rivers, Xavier Rhodes, in addition to a 9-man draft class that featured Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor. In 2018, he assisted with a draft class which included first-team All-Pros Quentin Nelson, Darius Leonard, and he got Danico Autry and Kenny Moore in free agency. Dodd's ability to acquire talent through multiple mediums is really, really good. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. The other thing about him as a person, he just seems to be intense. He's never satisfied. Quote from him, "You got to be relentless. You can't stop. I don't." He said, and he won't settle for mediocrity, which is one thing that the Detroit Lions have really loved to settle for, is mediocrity, especially in their drafting. Can't stand that. I love Dodds' attitude. Well, obviously talent is when he's looking for players. But after that, just being relentless, being a competitor that is mentally tough. It sounds like a broken record, but they got to have that stuff or they're not going to make it. And if you look at some of the players we've had, that's been part of the problem. So that's some of the information on Dodds. I really like this guy. And what do you think there, Curt?
Dodds is an interesting candidate. He's widely regarded as one of the best pro personnel scouts in the league. Now, just to give our audience some context, a pro scout is one of those guys who really are scouting guys that are already in the league or they've been out of college. You know, you have college scouts that go to the combines and things of that nature, but you have your pro directors of pro personnel and pro scouts are scouting. They're going to other teams and looking at free agents and players on another team, and they can evaluate players and see how they fit their organization. So that's an interesting level. He has succeeded with at the pro level, and he has helped on both sides with the college, bringing in draft classes and things of that nature. So he knows both sides, college and pro.
And he was both for the Seahawks in his last year, where he was director of the executive personnel, whatever that title was.
Executive personnel director. So that he handles pro and college personnel.
Yeah.
So he's a really good judge of talent. Which, if you look at Louis Riddick, he was a pro scout, director of pro personnel, where he was more looking at the individuals that were already in the league, or free agents, or those individuals that you're looking for as trades or anything like that nature. But they both have extensive backgrounds in scouting, so that's one thing that is good for both of these candidates.
The only downside to Dodds is he did turn down GM job with the Cleveland Browns. It is said that he does not like the spotlight. And also that he may not even be looking for a general manager job at this point.
That is very true.
Where he's at in Indianapolis. So we'll see what happens. And if the Lions can back up the truck, maybe they could get this guy.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think about these two people. And I'm going to get to that part in just a minute. But
one thing about Irsay up there in at Indianapolis, he has his own personal issues and everything like that, but he treats his personnel good up there in Indianapolis. Let's look at the Andrew Luck situation. He gave him a $6 million check when he retired.
Yes.
Just to say thank you for what you've done for our organization.
Yeah, not like our organization that takes money from players when they leave.
Yeah. So, so that may be a factor of why he wants to stay in Indianapolis, how Irsay treats his people up there.
Right. And that's got to be something that changes here in Detroit. So we're going to go to the question of the day now. And the question of the day is, do these candidates interest you? And if so, which one or both? Just tell me in the comment section below. But now we're going to go to the my favorite part of the show, dessert with Curt.
Hey, it is time for some tasty morsels. Now, we didn't have any games over the weekend because we gave you the tasty morsels from the last game when the Lions played on Thanksgiving against the Houston Texans. But there is another piece that came out of that game. On Saturday night, Sunday morning, there were a rash of donations to Deshaun Watson's charity from Lions fans for helping get Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn fired.
Lions
that is a savage, but Lions fans, you haven't disappointed. That is completely savage, but it is completely, I understand where they're coming from. They said, thank you for getting this guy out of here. Here's a donation to your charity.
Wow.
That is completely ignorant and selfless at the same time. But I love it. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
You know what? If you gave to Deshaun Watson's charity after they lost and Matt Patricia got fired, please comment in the video.
Yeah,
I want to hear that.
Us. I want to hear that too.
I want to hear that. But there was a report. It even made NFL.com that there was a rash of donations from Lions fans to Deshaun Watson's charity for helping get Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn fired.
That's amazing. That's just incredible.
That is a the tastiest morsels I can give you today.
Absolutely. And you know what, guys? Lions fans are some of the most loyal people you ever want to meet. We may disagree on a lot of stuff internally and the team and whatever, and who you should be loyal to and whatever. But we are a very loyal fan base, and we have suffered so much. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys that comment, that like the videos, that do all this stuff. Even the people that dislike the videos, yeah, whatever, we don't care.
Hey, we appreciate
the hate. Keep doing our thing, man.
Thank you for the hate. We're doing our job.
Yes. But I just think that these two candidates are some of the best. We're going to go through a series of these so that we can break down each and every person that has a shot at being the new GM for the Detroit Lions, so that you'll have really good information on every single person, so you can root for the guy that you want to have as our new general manager. But now we're going to go to Curt to take us home.
Hey, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. And subscribe to the channel, hit the ring notification bell so you know when you're getting fresh content from us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Like the video, comment, answer the question of the day, or just tell us how we're doing, or tell us what you want to see on the program if we haven't covered it already. And share the video with your friends, share it on social media. We appreciate you getting this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. You just viewing the video and subscribing and liking the videos and commenting will improve our YouTube algorithm, so it will get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. We're loving the comments. We're loving the views. Keep doing what you're doing because that helps us keep us doing what we're doing. Now, you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.